The Notes app on the iPhone has quietly, over the last few years, become one of the best stock apps on the iPhone, in my opinion. I constantly find myself downloading new Notes apps to try out, but I always come back to this one. But to get the most out of it, you need to know all the lesser known tips and tricks. And today, I'm going to share 10 of them with you. Okay, let's get into it. If you're working on two different notes in the Notes app on a Mac, you can simply double-click on each note to open them side by side, making it easy to reference one while working on the other. But on the iPhone, you can only have one instance of notes open at a time, which means you can only actively view one note at a time. If you need to reference one note while working on another, the usual way to do this would be to keep pressing the back button, find the other note, switch to it, then repeat this process over and over again. But in iOS 18, Apple quietly added a feature to make this much easier, the ability to quickly jump between recent notes. To use this, open any note and tap the ellipsis menu in the top right corner. Then tap Recent Notes. This will bring up a list of all of your most recently opened notes. If the note that you want to reference is in this list, simply tap on it to jump straight to it. You can then repeat the process to switch back to the note that you were originally working on, making it much easier to bounce between multiple notes without constantly going back to the main notes screen. iOS 18 introduced the ability to lock entire apps using Face ID or Touch ID, meaning that you can, in theory, lock the entire Notes app if you've got a lot of personal notes. To do this, just long press on the Notes app on your home screen and choose Require Face ID. You'll then be asked to confirm, and from that point on, the Notes app can only be opened by verifying it's you, either using biometrics or by entering your iPhone passcode. But if you don't want to lock down the entire Notes app, there's another feature that's been around for a while, the ability to lock individual notes. To do this, open the Notes app and find the note that you want to lock. Tap and hold on the note for just a second, then choose Lock Note. You'll be prompted to enter your passcode, and you'll usually see an option to enable Face ID or Touch ID, depending on your device. Once you confirm, the note will be locked, and you'll see a small padlock icon next to it. Unlike regular notes, the content of a locked note won't be visible in the preview. To view it, you'll need to tap on the note, choose View Note, and then use Face ID, Touch ID, or your passcode to unlock it. If you later decide that you no longer want a note to be locked, just long press on it again and select Remove Lock. Alternatively, you can also do this from the menu within the note itself. Do you ever watch these tips videos and think, how am I supposed to remember all this? If so, you should definitely check out the brand new training portal that I've just launched, iPhone Essentials Plus. It's more than 100 tips for the iPhone, with another 100 being added over the next few weeks, covering every aspect of your iPhone. Each module contains lessons, and each lesson contains a tutorial video, a step-by-step guide with screenshots, and a downloadable PDF. So no matter how you like to learn, you're covered. You can work through each lesson in order, or you can pick and choose what you want to learn at any given time. There's no ads, no sponsors, just content, and you can access it on your iPhone or your tablet or your home computer. Plus, no monthly subscription. This is a one-time only payment with lifelong access to all of the content, including all future updates. If this sounds good to you, scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the description of this video. As long as your iPhone can run iOS 18, and just to clarify, iOS 18 is available on the iPhone XS and any model released after that, you can take advantage of the Notes app's ability to work with audio. This is really useful if you're someone who likes to dictate notes, as it takes your iPhone's ability to handle audio files way beyond the basic voice memos app. There are a few different ways to add audio into the Notes app. The first way is by recording audio directly into a note. To do this, tap the paperclip icon in the menu bar just above the keyboard, then choose Record Audio. A recording window similar to the Voice Memos app will appear with a big red record button at the bottom. Tap it to start recording. While recording, you can tap the speech bubble in the lower left corner to see a real-time transcript of what you're saying. Once you're finished, tap pause, then tap done. And just like that, the audio recording is inserted into your note. You can tap play to listen back to the audio, or tap the transcript section to view the full transcription. If your iPhone supports Apple Intelligence, you'll also get access to a summary feature, which can be really useful for longer recordings. Either way, you can simply view the transcript, or you can tap the ellipsis button to add the transcript to your notes or copy it to your clipboard, or find words within the transcript. The second way to add audio is by attaching an existing file. Again, tap the paperclip icon and choose Attach File. As long as the audio file is stored in iCloud, you can browse for it and insert it directly into your note. If you have audio recordings saved in the Voice Memos app, you can still add them to Notes, but it's a bit more of a manual process since Apple doesn't provide a direct button to add them. So here's how you do it. Open the Voice Memos app and locate the recording that you want to add. Tap the ellipsis menu in the top right corner of the recording, choose Share, then select Notes. From there, locate the note that you want to add the recording to and press Save. When you go back to the Notes app, you'll see that the note has been updated and the audio has been added exactly as if you'd recorded it directly inside the app. Another way to add audio to Notes is by recording phone calls. Next time you're on a call, you'll see a recording button in the top left corner of the call screen. Tap this and a notification will play to let everyone on the call know that it's being recorded. Your iPhone will then record the entire conversation, and once you hang up, a note will be automatically created in the phone calls folder inside the Notes app. You can tap into this folder and select a specific call to view or listen to the recording, just like any other audio file in Notes. If you're enjoying the content here, why not sign up for my weekly newsletter, which is all about tech news and tips delivered free to your inbox each Friday. Sign up via the QR code on screen or the link in the description. A few years ago, Apple introduced Quick Notes, but at the time, it was an iPad-only feature. Combined with the Apple Pencil, it made a lot of sense. It was billed as a digital version of a Post-it note, where you could just swipe from the corner of your iPad and quickly jot something down to come back to later. Then Apple launched Quick Notes on the iPhone, and to be honest, I never really understood why it was there, until I actually started using it properly. And once you understand how Quick Notes work, I think you'll find there can be a real benefit. First, we need to make sure that Quick Notes is set up on your iPhone. To do this, open the Control Center, tap the plus button in the top left corner to enter edit mode, then tap Add a Control. In the Search Controls box at the top, type Quick Note and make sure you've added it to your Control Center. With that done, the process of actually creating a Quick Note is always the same. Just open Control Center and tap the Quick Note button. Your phone will instantly create a brand new Quick Note for you. At its most basic level, you can use Quick Notes just like a digital Post-it note. If you suddenly need to jot something down to reference later, just create a Quick Note, type whatever you need, and if necessary, add a photo or a file, then hit Save. All of your Quick Notes are stored in a dedicated folder inside the Notes app called Quick Notes. From here, you can long press on a note to delete it if you no longer need it, or you can long press and choose Move to put it into another Notes folder for archiving. But where Quick Notes becomes really useful is in your iPhone's ability to recognize when you want to link something. Let me show you how this works. If I go to Safari, then swipe down to open Control Center and create a Quick Note, you'll see that at the top of the note, there's an Add Link button. Tapping this immediately links the Quick Note to the Safari page that I'm currently on. This also works in Mail. If I open an email, then repeat the same process, my phone prompts me to add a link. This time, it's a direct link to the email that I've got open. This feature works in other apps as well. In my testing, I was able to link a Quick Note to a specific chat in the Messages app, and I could also link it to a location in Maps. Because of this, the Quick Note has now become my default method for creating notes on my iPhone. I find it much more effective than the old way of going into the Notes app and manually creating a new note every time. If note organization is your thing, you probably already know that you can create a new folder in the Notes app by tapping the New Folder button in the bottom left corner. Give the folder a name, tap Done in the top right corner, and your new folder will be created at the top level of the Notes app. If you want to add folders within an existing folder, tap into the folder, choose the menu in the upper right corner and select Add Folder. This will create a new folder nested inside the folder that you're currently in. But there is another way to do this, which is especially useful if you've already created multiple folders and you want to move one into another. You can just use drag and drop. For example, if I have multiple folders at the top level of my Notes app and I want to move one into another, I can simply tap and hold on a folder for a second, then drag it around the screen. I can use this to reorganize the order of my folders, or I can hover over another folder and let go, which will drop it inside the selected folder. You might already know that you can collaborate on a note, allowing you to work on it with someone else in real time. To do this, find the note that you want to collaborate on and tap the Share button at the top of the screen. By default, this is set to Send Copy, but in the drop-down menu beneath the title of the note, make sure that you change it to Collaborate. Then choose the person you want to share the note with. For example, you might send the collaboration request via messages. They'll receive a link, and once they tap on it, they'll be added as a collaborator to the note. This means that both of you can make changes, allowing you to work on a note together. But you can also collaborate on an entire folder, which is really useful if you're working on a larger project and you need to share multiple notes with someone. To do this, navigate to the folder that you want to collaborate on, long press on it, and choose Share Folder. Unlike individual notes, folder sharing is automatically set to collaboration since you're working together on everything inside that folder. Follow the same steps to send the collaboration link to the other person, and once they accept, they'll be able to access and edit all of the notes inside that folder. Keep in mind that collaborators can edit and delete notes, so make sure you're only sharing folders with people that you trust. You can tag your notes, giving you a quick and easy way to pull together notes that are stored across multiple different folders. To do this, simply add a hashtag anywhere in a note. Tap the number button in the bottom left corner of the keyboard, then tap the symbol key above it and select the hash icon. Then just type out your tag. You can place the tag anywhere in the note, either in the title or in the body, it doesn't matter. Once you've done this, go back to the main page of the Notes app and you'll see a tag section at the bottom of the screen. The tag that you just created will now be visible there. If you tap on the tag, all notes containing that specific tag will be brought together in one place. So if you need a way to organize multiple notes across different folders, tagging is a simple and effective way to do it. Although you can't change the color of text in the Notes app on the iPhone, you can highlight text to draw attention to it. To do this, start by selecting the text that you want to highlight. Then tap the AA button in the menu just above the keyboard. In this menu, you'll see a highlighter pen icon with a color next to it. Tap on the color first, choose the color that you want, and your selected text will be highlighted automatically. You can then select more text if needed and simply tap the pen button again to highlight it in the same color. If you want to use multiple highlight colors throughout your note, just tap the color option again and choose a different one. On the subject of formatting text, there are a few features that have been added to notes in the last couple of years that you might not be aware of. One of these is block quote. To access this, tap the format button, then choose the block icon in the bottom right corner. This adds a small indentation next to your text, creating a block quote effect that helps you separate it from the rest of your note. Another new addition is called mono-styled. You can access this by tapping the AA or format button, scrolling across and selecting mono-styled. I don't code, so I can't say this with certainty, but from what I've heard from people who do, this is useful for copying and pasting code into a note without the formatting getting messed up. The other feature is the ability to hide content within headings. So if you tap the AA format button, choose heading and type out a heading, you'll notice a downward pointing arrow to the left of it. This indicates that everything beneath the heading up until the next heading can be collapsed. To collapse the section, just tap the arrow and all the content under that heading will be hidden. This is a great way to manage larger notes that contain a lot of text and make them much easier to navigate. If you're working on a note and realize that you'd like to create a reminder about it, there are a couple of ways that you can do this. The first method is to tap the share button at the bottom of the screen. If Reminders appears as an available app, simply tap on it. Then tap the details box to choose which list you want the reminder to go to, set a date and time, and adjust any other settings that you need. Once you're done, press the Add button at the top of the screen. In the Reminders app, you'll now see a new reminder with a note icon to the right of it. If you tap on this icon, it will take you directly back to the note in the Notes app. However, if the Reminders app doesn't show as an available option in the Share menu, there is still a way to add your note to Reminders. You just need to use drag and drop. For example, if I have a note open and Reminders isn't listed as a sharing option, here's what I'd do. First, I'd press the back button to return to the folder where the note is stored. Then I'd long press on the note for just a second and begin dragging it around the screen. While still holding the note, I'd swipe up with my other hand to return to the home screen. Open the Reminders app and simply drop the note inside. Just like before, a reminder is created with a direct link to the note. So when I tap on it, it takes me straight back to the note in the Notes app. So there you go, 10 lesser known tips and tricks for notes on the iPhone. What do you think? Any tips that I should have included here? Drop me a comment and let me know. And as ever, if you found this video useful, do please consider leaving me a like and subscribing to my channel for more content like this in the future. See you on the next video.